Bien. For that way side here.
My bike. When they work for the you just go carry come. We should come out with our parents and the only doctor. They can come out with their parents go and talk. Because then they can't come over for.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you're all welcome to today's section.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. I hope you all had a great day today.
Yes, of course. It was a bit stressful.
Okay. All right, before we begin, I would like a few of us to come up and give our take home from the past class. Who would like to go first? All right, take home from the last class, guys. I can see Innocent and Daniel. Who would like to go first?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please, you can go.
Something. Oh, sorry, my audio. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, you can go, sir. You're audible.
Okay, so thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I wanted to be sure that you can hear me. All right.
Hearing you,
Apologies
sir.
for. Okay, all right. So let me share my screen so that we can commence immediately. Apologies for starting late. I was conducting ISO audits, so trying to meet up take some time. So again, I want to say apologies from my end. So let me share my screen. I don't know if you guys can see my screen now. Stop. Don't worry, you will enjoy the class. Before we proceed again, I want to say that please ensure that you have ability to use Google Form because we'll be doing a live kind of practical in our class. Each time I teach people, I still want to make sure that they can enjoy the session, and then it's not going to look as if we're just talking story. I will encourage you to also, will I be able to see people that I'm talking to? Okay. Okay, so let's go. I'm not sure I'll be able to see most of you, so I'm trying to adjust the screen in a way I'll be able to see the participants. How did I do it last time? So that as I'm talking to you, Give me 1 more minute again. Let me try the third option. Well, okay. That's okay. Whichever one. Okay. Okay, without much ado, today will be so I want to welcome everyone on the platform and thank you for taking your time. I'm sure Miracle has engaged you. I will be introducing myself as we proceed in the training. But before I go ahead, I also want you to introduce yourself so that it is both ways. I don't know, some people are still joining. Miracle, do we continue to allow them or we just proceed? All right, I want to believe you guys can hear me. So today we'll be looking at this, my profile. Like I said, but before I go ahead, please, I want everyone on the platform to just tell me their name, tell me where you work, and I want to know like your years of experience. The reason I want to do that is to be able to have interaction so that I'm just not talking over your head. So please, I won't mind. You can go in any particular order, or let me call the names, maybe that'll be better. Let me start with Joseph. Joseph, your name, which I didn't know is Joseph, where you work, years of experience, maybe your role. So go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Luis, you can go ahead if you are free. Let's make it 3 minutes. We've already spent a lot of time.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
So I said, can we all introduce ourselves one by one? Your name, where you work, your role, years of experience. Quick one.
My name is Joseph Perry Lewis. I work with Bayelsa Property and Investment Company. I manage some of the properties of the states across some parts of the country.
All right.
With more than 5 years experience.
All right. That means I have access to Bayelsa. Next person, Innocent. Let's go. Let's make it quick. It's also good for interaction. I know you guys have done it, but it also helps me to know how we come in, can give idea, how do you implement this, where you are, and things like that. So
good evening, everyone. Good evening.
I can hear you.
My name is Innocent Saturday Fred. I work with Sterling Global Limited. Right. I work there as a project engineer on marine services.
I can see you're still on site. All right. Akinwale.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you. Akinwale, let's make it quick. This is supposed to be like 2 minutes. Akinwale, Chad, Chipo, Daniel, anyone that can go first. There are 2 Daniel Aja, Daniel Kwele, David Thomas. Let's go. Let's make it snappy. Eddie Dung, Festus, Ibrahim, Salifu, Kolade. Let's go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let me Daniel.
All right.
I work with Presco PLC as a workshop manager.
All right. So let's see what. All right. Let's see how we're going to implement technology there. Let's go ahead. I've called everyone's name. Ibrahim, anyone that wants to go first. After like 3 or 4, if you're not going, we move ahead. The essence is to be able to know I can come in where you work. My class is very practical. You have access to the slide, so you can always read on your own. So I'll do much talking from experience, practical session. that's my class. You will practice one or two tools. I always look at free tools that are available to you. So let's go ahead. We have just 2 more minutes. Once it's 5:25, I start.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Imaji Salifu. Coming from Abuja. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Salifu.
Yes,
Clearly.
I work with Corazon Limited as a facility manager.
All right,
in
thank
Abuja.
you. How many years?
3 years of work experience.
All right, so please ask your experience. Thank you. Noye, you want to go next? Kolade?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chipo.
Yes,
Your
my
voice
name
is
is
very low.
Chipo. I work at a...
I can hardly hear you, Chipo.
My name is Chipo Mdekuni. I work at a bank in Harare, Zimbabwe. I have 8 years experience.
Okay, I think I've kind of interacted with you on LinkedIn somewhere, somehow. I want to believe so. All right, next.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, David Thomas.
Yeah, my name is David Thomas. I work with the West Africa Container Terminal as a facility technician.
All right. You're welcome.
Introduce myself.
Years of experience.
Sorry, 4 years experience, sir.
Thank you. It's like you have somebody beside you.
No,
Next.
just me.
Okay. So we have just 2 more minutes and then we'll close this session. Good day, Kolade.
My name is Kolade. My name. I work as a facility manager for a real estate company.
A real estate company?
Yes, sir.
How many years?
About 3 years of experience.
All right, thank you. There's a reason. It's not just to check maybe, yeah, no, that's not just, there's something we're trying to do in this class. All right.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Some of you are not putting in your camera, so but it's fine.
Sorry, where I am, I can't turn on my camera at present.
No problem, it's fine.
Okay, my name is Ezekiel Festus. So presently, I work with Reddington Hospital as a facility manager.
Reddington Hospital. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Which one? Lagos, Abuja?
Victoria Island, Lagos. Yeah.
Okay. Off. Adiola Odeku,
Adiola
right?
Odeku, yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, so first, I'll come and say hi to you one of these days.
You're
all
welcome,
right.
Sir.
I'm seeing Van de Van. It looks like someone from Jos.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Van de Van Bem. I work with a real estate firm as a facility supervisor. I have 3 years experience. I'm not from Jos, I'm from Benue.
Oh, Mpandibe.
Oh, Pandinina.
Yeah, you're wondering. Life is beautiful in Benue. I was in Benue 13, 14 years ago or something. All right.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to close this session. If Uche is not speaking, I've not heard any lady's voice, so I'm not comfortable. So maybe Caroline will bail the ladies out. It's good to balance the gender. I'm not sure Caroline can hear me. But let's move ahead. Cannot wait for them forever. So let's move straight. Now you want me to introduce myself. I'll introduce myself by my slide. Okay, you want to speak? Okay, all right. Go ahead.
So can you hear me?
I can hear you. Carol?
Yes, I'm Carol. So this is my, though I've been on generator engineer, but this is my first time working with facility company. So I'm working with Max-Migold.
Okay, I'm working with Max-Migold.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, when you're not speaking, just do me a very good favor. Just try and mute your mic so that we can have a single voice. But let somebody, I don't know who's your class governor, can put on his own mic so that I can get feedback as long as it's not going to It's not going to interrupt what I want to do. All right. Slide. Some people are disrupting us, but it's fine. I would go ahead. All right. So in this class, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. I'm going to call my name is a compound name. My name is Dr. Ifeoluwadayo Adeoluwadotun. I'm the CEO of FIMO Real Estate. I have over 13 years of experience. I'm a member of Association of Facility Management Practitioners in Nigeria, the only local association recognized. We have IFMA, we have IWFM. I'm also the director of finance in that association. I was the director of membership the last 2 years. I'm a registered facility manager. I have masters in facility management. I'm a member of Green Building Council. I'm a member of Institute of Safety Practitioners in Nigeria. I'm a Scrum certified. I have a background in electrical electronics engineering. I also have an OND in industrial maintenance engineering. Like I said, I started my career as a facility manager like you. You guys are very fortunate. When I started my career, we don't have a platform where we can learn like Max-Migold. We don't have a platform like that. And even as I speak to you, I challenge you to correct me if I may be wrong. You hardly see any free training on facility management. Max, you can go is Udemy and you see 1 or 2. Allison, you see 1 or 2, but to see something that you can go on, even on YouTube, the only thing you can do is to go on YouTube and you see random, but you won't see something comprehensive, awesome as this Max-Migold program. So it's to tell you that one of the challenges in the industry is scarcity of knowledge, and they say knowledge is power, and having power, not using it, also is not good. When I start my class, I also start with music, one of the ways to cool the tempo. And I used to tell people that as a facility manager, you will need this music that I play at the beginning of my class. This lyrics is Stand By Me. We need your technician to stand by you. You will need your line manager to stand by you. You will need to stand by yourself. And I'll play this as I go ahead. It's just going to be a way of making it, making the class tempo, making it lively. Don't forget, learning is not just because of the certificate, but you must learn to make sure that you apply. Has come. Like Martin Luther King was saying, and the land is dark, baby land, and the moon, so that you can hand, baby hand. So your learning light will see. Determine your handing. And no, facility manager, you are a leader. Be afraid. And if you are leading people and nobody is standing by you, you have failed. First and foremost, you know leadership is by influence. And influence comes by knowledge. And knowledge comes by learning. So again, I'm going to use your acronym for leadership. L is for learning. Leadership, you must keep me. E is to empower. This program is to empower you. And when you are being empowered, you empower others. If the sky is to act with purpose, that we look upon, to tell people the purpose of life should tumble and fall. Life of purpose. Or the mountain purpose in this industry should crumble. We are going to fizzle out with time. We get tired and wearied out. So as this, you must have a purpose. And as I used to tell people, every facility manager is a doctor. What kind of a doctor are you? You are the doctor of a building. So you have to make sure that the well-being of that building is on you. And I'm sure that's why you are learning. Finally, which is lead, which is lead, you must make sure you deliver results. So as I go back this class, please stand by me. Listen to me. You have access to this document. Make sure that all that you are doing, you have the support system. So that's why I say you will need this music a lot. That people will need to stand by you. Your vendor will need to stand by you. All the stakeholders in the building will need to stand by you. And when I say stand by you, I mean they must align to the corporate goals, corporate objective, you must agree. The word stand by me is just simply this. You must agree. You must align. The corporate goals, the processes, to the purpose why the building was made, and to the corporate objective. So as I go along this path, I want to encourage you, stand by me. We're going to look at 5 modules, and that modules will start from building the foundation of why do you need technology, how will you implement the technology, and we look at some technology in the industry. So thank you very much. I hope you have been able to enjoy my music, and I hope that you've been able to connect with me. Like I said, I'm going to share from my wealth of experience. You always have access to this, so don't worry. We have done this introduction of the student. When you want to speak, please raise a thumbs up. Let's not have the whole session jamming together. For now, because it's not a physical class, we're not having a break. We should complete this class in an hour. So please, if they're warming your food, tell them to calm down, that you have an hour to learn so that you can earn. You have an hour to be empowered. You have an hour to increase your knowledge bank. Again, like I said, we're going to look at 5 modules. One is why the strategy to lay the groundwork. Number 2 is the deployment process. Number 3 is useful applications of the FM technology, areas you can apply it. The module 4, we're going to look at different FM software. Module 5, we're going to look at barriers to the deployment. And in conclusion, we're going to have a light quiz. And I'm sure it's not your overall quiz, which you will still do an exam. This is just a light quiz to make sure that the participants get themselves familiarized or to measure, to evaluate their learning during the course. And finally, like I said, please make sure you know how to, you have a Google account, a Gmail, because we're going to practice. Like I said, I'm going to run through it very fast. You have access to it. So by 5:30, all things being equal, we should be able to run through the 55 slides that we have. So that's why I say it's a long journey. Just please stand by me. I will make sure that in an hour's time, I will run through it. Please make sure you have your notes. I want to have like 5 questions from you guys, observation, feedback. So the first module, we're going to look at the strategy for laying out the groundwork. First and foremost, I like to define what FM tech is, and what is the benefit. FM technology is a tool. Hey, please, who is disturbing us? Please mute yourself if you are not speaking. And those that are coming in and going out, I want to believe it's your network. So please stay in a place where you have network. And if you know you are far from the mast, find a way to move closer to the mast. Again, what is FM technology? It's a tool. When people say, I use technology, I used to ask you, your technology is as good as your process. If you have a bad process, technology will not work. Technology is not the doer, but is just an enabler. There are 2 different things. It's not going to be the one to design all the process, but it's just going to enable the process that you want to improve on. So it's a tool or a system to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. We all know that there's a difference between being efficient and being effective. I'll leave that to you. So it's a tool to enhance efficiency and effectiveness of managing a physical environment such as building, infrastructure, and infrastructure. It integrates various aspects of facility management, maintenance, space utilization, asset management. Your goal is to optimize. Again, I want to say this, your goal is to optimize your performance. What are the benefits? Efficiency, I've mentioned it, automate your routine tasks. In Nigeria as it is, it's very painful that 80% of the high-rise commercial building, they are still using paper to write the number of people in that building. I'm sure most of you are aware of what happened in Afriland. If I ask them at that point, provide me the asset, the number of people in this building, they're going to bring one paper. Unfortunately, that paper might be lost, in the fire incidents, and you might not be able to have any backup to know the occupancy level. Other is cost reduction, better resource management. Maybe when you apply technology, a place where you need 5 staff for cleaning, a good technology can ensure you have make use of 2 staff, thereby reducing your cost. Data-driven decision with good technology in your facility or the built environment, you will be able to make decisions based on information, and information will help you to have insights. Insight will help you to have foresight. And with information, you're able to move from intuition to insights, and from insights to intelligence. I want you to write that down. Technology will help you to move from intuition to insights, and from insights, you move to technology. Now, safety and compliance, with a good technology, you can enhance monitoring, you can enhance reporting capabilities. There is a saying that what you cannot monitor, what you cannot measure, you cannot monitor, and what you cannot monitor, you cannot manage. So hence, technology can help you both for measurement, and both to help you to monitor, and both to help you to manage. I want you to type in the section box, if you can hear me, type intuition to insights to technology. Put it there in the comment section, and I'll be doing that often to know whether you are following me, or even though you are online, you are offline in your mind. So stand by me as we go ahead in the class. So let's move to the next slide. All right. Now, what is strategy for FM technology? You are still in the why. It must serve the business. It must help the business, not the other way. Also, you must define the process that you want to use technology to improve and augment. I said again, as I go around, I will not be reading as if I'm reading news. So you will have access to this. So I'll be mentioning, talking randomly. Now, if you want to use technology, you must lay out the groundwork, define what you want to achieve. That's the deliverables. Then you can do what we call PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act. The planning process is where we are now. What do you want to achieve? And what are the deliverables you want to achieve? What are the documentations you need? Then you now begin to look at implementation, and you now need to also begin to look at how do I improve what I'm getting. So I'm looking at the groundwork. FM will also help you to be a proactive facility management or proactive facility management. You can use it to address your current FM problem. You can use it to improve your operations. You can also use your life cycle of the built environments using technology. We'll see how you can do that using an advanced tool like BIM. You can also use it for asset planning, capital replacement, space planning, routine of operation and maintenance. If I have time, I'll show you one of the tools we deployed in our own company, how all our operations are all embedded in a software. And that has minimized paperwork. I think for almost a year, I work hybrid because I have a technology to run our processes. In fact, in the last 2 months, I'm not sure I've stepped my foot on the site for more than 2 or 3 days. So technology has enabled me to approve, to do approval. It has enabled me to track our operations. It has also enabled me even to do evaluations. It has also enabled me to share documentation, live documentation, have live meetings. So, like I said, technology will help you to be able to be proactive. Obaro Akpobosa, you are going in and coming in. Now let's move to module 2. The planning stage, we talk about find out why do you need it, what are the deliverables, What are the requirements to meet that deliverables? How will you use the resources you have? That is to meet that deliverable. So I'm moving to planning, to post-implementation stage. Pardon me. Okay. Module 2. Again, when you're using technology, like I said, I'm not going to read as if I'm reading book. So you can read that. Objective is key. You need to consider the business itself. You need to look at how it will help your maintenance, capital planning. Those are the basics. You need to find out if you have the IT capacity to execute. You need to find out if your team members or those that will be stakeholders, they also know how to use it, and you need to communicate to them. You need to understand the benefits of it. Again, finally, all those English is to define roles, responsibility, and timeline. How will you select your technology? You can select using webinar. Maybe you've gone to a webinar, you listen. There are ways you can do your source selection process. You have gone to a workshop. Some people will come, they do presentation to you. You can go to YouTube, find best technology for what you need. Others can be you talk to vendors. Others can be you look at engaging your classmates. Others can be hire a consultant, which I think is also good. So there are many ways you can determine or source for the technology you want to use. And when you source for it, your purchase process needs to cover both planning, implementation, and not only to implement and to look at sustainability. So you must look at data integration cost, support fee. For my own company, I think like 8 years ago, when we engage a company to want to use technology to drive our process, we are paying an annual fee for them. We're also paying for our data backup. And we also make sure we provide the gadget through which all our facility manager can make use of that. So your cost is not just that. You must look at the operational cost to use the technology. You must look at the initial cost. You must look at all the end process costs that is attached to that technology. Now let's look at documentation. Facility management, FMIS means facility management information source, right? Information system, sorry. When you just get to a site and you want to implement technology, these are some of the documentations you can ask. Again, as we go along the system, you will see that there are different types of technology or softwares. You know, when we talk of technology, the only thing that comes to people is software. But technology is beyond software. Or what comes to your mind is WhatsApp. Or what comes to your mind is ChatGPT. You know? So I would have loved to ask this question like I used to ask some of my students. When you hear technology, what comes to your mind? I know we have passed that stage. Now let's look at documentation. And you are free to ask me this question from this documentation as we go. As built drawing is something you need if you want to implement some technology. Asset register is needed, and I will mention why. If you are using some software, you might need to put your asset register on the software. You might also need bill of quantities in some cases. This is information you get from immediately after construction. Let's assume that they hand over a new building to you, and you are thinking of implementing. Some might not even be a new building. Like I said earlier, these are some of the documents. It doesn't mean that you now meet somebody and say, give me all this list. They come in different stages based on the technology you want to implement. You need construction snacks and defect list. I'm sure most of you know what is called a defect liability period after construction. That is important for you as a facility manager. You might need that information. You also need construction team and vendor details. You might need equipment guarantees and warranties. You might need what we call OEM manual, original equipment manual, manufacturer operations and maintenance manual. You might also need the regulatory permits, legal documentation, testing and commissioning result. You might also need some building system, equipment specification, spare parts, equipment component, part list, and some of this is not all in all. But you will see as we go along the line, I'm going to explain one or two that you need in this. Now, post-implementation, after you have implemented this, you've chosen your selection process, you've looked at your deliverables, roles, responsibility, and timeline. You've looked at the purchase process. How do you manage your data? Is your data your own data, or when you use that software, it becomes theirs? Do you have access to it after using that software now, not technology? So you need to also engage people that are using that software or the technology to find out if they have outstanding issues, right? You need to also conduct a post-project debrief after implementation. Maybe after implementation, you also congratulate the team. However, this is just a method. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow through the way it is 1, 2, 4. There are many ways you might implement, and that implementation might only just be that you're only checking with the user from time to time. Okay, as we go forward, if not that it's not a paid advert, I would have mentioned some local softwares or technology, but I will not mention that. Now, maybe you want to do space planning. You might need technology. There's some technology that can help you to plan your space. You're working in a commercial building where people come in and go in. You might need a car farm system. I'll mention some of these systems as we go on. You will see CMS system, EAR, BAS. Leave that name as it is. We'll come back later. BIM is building information modeling. We'll come back to that later. You might also need the life cycle. These are some of the requirements that the facility manager might need or might use. The software might also help you to analyze energy. So these are just some of the requirements you might need. I don't want to dwell on it. I want to go straight to the application of the technology. I hope I'm not too fast. If you can type in the comment section, you are too fast, you're not too fast. I'm learning, I'm getting along. So I can barely hear what you are saying. Is that true for everyone? Okay, I think it's during the time I'm playing the music, so you can't hear me. All right, thank you. All right. Somebody's laughing. So just type that I'm following. They are too fast, they are too slow. Thank you. Someone said I'm audible. Thank you. I guess it was when I was playing that music. Some of you could not hear me. Someone said you are too fast. Sorry for that. Can I get another response? You're okay. You're following. If I'm too fast, say I'm too fast. If you're following, say you're following. Very, very fast. Somewhere. What did I do to you? I'll take it slow. You are too fast, Daniel. That's a good feedback. Someone say very, very fast. All right. You are too fast. Oh, audible, but very fast. You are too fast. Should we go back to mode 1? You are too fast. Following. Apologies for that, actually. Apologies. Okay, I'm going to take it slow. Fast to Okay, if you want me to go back to the last module, just say go back. I'll do that. Okay. Go back, go back, go back. Okay, go back. Who said I should go back again? Oh. Okay, so you know what I've just done for you? It's what's called a feedback mechanism. And that's what we're going to do. So as a facility manager, you must also make sure that, oh, Ezekiel who puts I'm running. Oh, wonderful. It was intentional in a way. I wanted to see if you are following me. And also to bring up a life lesson that when you are managing people, you need to find out if they are standing by you. So I've seen that I'm just standing alone. Okay, I'll take it slow. It was intentional to get your attention. It was intentional to see if you are following. It was intentional again to teach you about feedback mechanism. That when you're implementing anything, don't just keep moving. Don't forget my music is stand by me, so I know what I'm doing. I need to be sure that most of you are following me. So in this facility management industry, you must make sure that you get feedback from the people that you are offering your service to. So I'll go back. All right. I'll take my time. All right. Thank you for the feedback. We're going to design a feedback mechanism at the end of the class. That's going to be our project. And we're going to do it together. And I'll take my time. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So let's go forward. I'm going to go back. Now we're looking at, all right, so I'll be slow now. And if I'm too slow, put too slow. All right. All right, so that module 2, like I said, was intentional. It's just to tell you what are the planning process to determine the technology you want to use. And during that process, we have looked at how do you source. Let's start from sourcing, right? What determines your sourcing methodology? First, you need to find out what problem do you want to solve. That's the first thing. Then find out if that technology will solve that problem. That's 2. Thirdly, find out the cost implication of that. Then find out also the initial cost implication. Find out also the long run time cost of all that you may need to use it in the long run, not just the initial cost. Sometimes there's some technology that the initial cost might be very low, but the long time cost might be very high. You might not be able to afford it, or that might not meet up with your budget plan. The other thing which I mentioned is to find out what are the requirements you need to use that technology. Do you have the capacity to provide that information? The other part is the last part is to find out what are the data infrastructure that you may need. Again, like I said, is to find out if you are following me. And I want to believe now that I've taken my time to go through the source selection process. I've gone through the basics. I've gone through, by talking literally, I've gone through the purchase process. I've gone through also the implementation, means that when you go live, as you implement the technology, find out along the line if it's meeting your set objective, get feedback from the user. Just like I'm using this tool and I'm talking, what's this man saying? What is he saying? It's too fast. Find out if your team can meet up with the requirement, or that technology, like my own voice, is just too fast, or the pace of using it might be too fast for you. So I've also now talked about in using technology, there might be some documentation you might need. I've talked about find out if you have the data to use it, do you have the source, find out if you have the capacity, find out the requirement, documentation, find out if your user are those people that can use it. For example, it's like you are asking your cleaner to be using a BIM system. One, that person has not been trained in that capacity to use it. So even though when you implement, you will find out that people part becomes a problem for you. So these are some of the documentation you might need from construction, or that you might need to implement technology. I said one of it is as-built drawing. If you are going to use a IM system or BMS system, you might need the as-built drawing. And that as-built drawing might be what they will need to put on the software and input some documentation. What is an as-built drawing? As-built drawing is like the architectural, mechanical, electrical, and all the system and all the major stakeholders that are involved in the building, the documentation, the drawings, and the way it is. Unfortunately, as-built drawing are not as-built. I'll give an example. Maybe say that the door is on the second floor. That's what is in the as-built. And you now discover that when you get to the second floor, there is no door. That has been a modified as-built drawing. I mentioned that you might need asset register. Asset register is a list of your assets showing purchase period, some showing cost, some showing RUL. RUL means remaining useful life of the asset. For example, some AC life cycle or lifespan. Let me use lifespan. Although in FM, most time we use life cycle. Let's say some AC lifespan is 10 years. And maybe you bought it in the year 2000. By year 2008, the remaining useful life of that asset is 2 years. You might need to put that in asset register. You might need to put the prescription, the direct description of the asset in terms of brand, color, serial number, and things like that. So what am I saying is that some software you might need this. There's some software where your vendor can be imputed on that software. So maybe you want to purchase an item. You can use your software to generate a pro forma invoice, and your vendor will receive it without you talking to your vendor on the platform. So if you are going to use such software, you will need your vendor details, you need the email, you also need the SLA, which is service level agreement, maybe the response time that the vendor should respond. You might need the equipment guarantee or warranty. There's some software you might even need the manual. There's some that you might also need the recommended spare parts to impute on the system. Some of them, like I said, you also need the equipment components. So there are many software you can use, and there's some of them you might require information to implement. That's just all my story. I hope I'm not too fast now. Let me get another feedback. Tell me that my pace is okay. And then we'll move to the next one. You know, David, is my pace okay now? Okay, so I want you to mention 2 documents that you might need to implement some technology as we have mentioned. I want to know if my pace is okay. That I've mentioned, some of them. Just mention one. Festus, mention one. Someone say my face is not showing, don't worry. I don't want to be the face. I want you to look at the document. I purposely turn it off so that I can focus on the document. So, SLA, thank you. Let's put it on the chat box. This section, I'll be taking a feedback. One document that you might need to implement your software. Asset register, thank you. RUL, not RUFO, BOQ, thank you. SLA, I didn't say RUF, I said RUL, useful, remaining useful life, as built document, that's what I'm looking for. Let's go on, let's go on. Yes, you might also need a cost. You might need part list. Let's keep going on. Make sure you type something. That's how I know you're following me. I want it to be very, very engaging. Like I said, vendor details, perfect. As built, you might need manuals. You might need the manuals, the equipment manuals. Thank you. You also need the cost implement. You need operation manual. Thank you. You're also trying to find out the overall cost. You also need to find out the data infrastructure you may need is important. Do you have the data infrastructure? Maybe you need to run wiring and your building, they say no breaking of walls or something. As built, not as built, as built, Daniel. Some people are not responding. So I will tell the other person to, if you are not responding, I'll just assume that you're as upset from this class. Because you can be here and not be here. So that's another challenge of technology. That's limitation. You just see my name, see my face, but I'm in the kitchen cooking rice. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now this is, thank you, so I'll stop. Thank you. Make sure you type. Somebody is looking at the attendance. If you are not putting anything, just assume that you are not in this class or you are not following us. So if you don't type anything, I'm taking record that you are not participating. Don't forget that I want to believe that participation has a mark, has a way of them. Okay. Now let's use, now this session is going to be practical away. Now I want you to tell me, in the last class, we need to find out what area do you need technology. So now, next part, I want you to tell me what are the places you need technology, areas that I need technology to help me. So let's go on. Let's go on. I'm taking feedback now. We're going on. This session is just going to be discussion. Let's go on. I need technology for this area of my processes. Let's go on. Thank you. Van de Ver. Let's go. Now, the next question I'm stopping. I just want to get your feedback so that when I'm talking, I want to know where you're following me. Security. Tell me what areas of security you need. The security is wide. Why do you need the fleet? Thank you. Space management. Let's go on. Data collection. What data do you want to collect? Thank you. That's a very good response. I need technology to track my assets. Tell me why. Maintenance query system. Thank you. Asset management and life cycle. Thank you. Let's go ahead. That will help me to know how I will manage the next phase. Cyber security. Why? Are they hacking your system? I don't understand cyber security and FMO. Cameras to monitor inflow and outflow of person. You don't need camera. All you need is sensor, occupancy sensor, infrared sensor. Although there are smart cameras that can also do that. But I'm not sure your guy will approve that between you and I. Maintenance, Amira. Are you in this class? Maintenance routine. Let's go ahead. Energy consumption. Good one. To access my vendor, hold virtual meeting. We are doing use Zoom to hold virtual meeting. You can use Teams. I'll be responding to you. Inventory management. You can use a CMS system. I'll show you some. And then there'll be a practical session, data integration. Lewis, can you break down data integration? Okay, you're driving. All right, thank you, Amira, no problem. What do you mean by smart technology? Someone is like, update of as-built drawing. Good. Nobody is talking about knowing the number of water they are using. Nobody is talking about the indoor air quality if you're in a commercial space. Nobody is also talking about their carbon emission. Anyway, that's what you want to use it. Information repository. CHAD, BMS system. So that means you already know. So I love the feedback. Sensors to control lighting and HVAC. Thank you, Soye. I think you must be from Port Harcourt or something, from Bayelsa. I know someone that is Soye. Cost and billing. You have to be more specific. Now we are being practical. I want to know, why do you need it? Why is it given? So now that I know what you need, I'm sure this class, let's go at some of the applications, and I'm sure you agree with me. Now I'm going to tell you what I did in third. Now I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to, we'll go through this slide. This third slide is practical. So I'm going to talk. I'm not even going to open it. I want to talk from my mind, then I'll open the next one. Thank you for your feedback. Now, let me do humidity level of the space. Thank you. Good one. There's some smart AC controller that can do that. Thank you. Just keep, if you know you have more. There's a reason I'm taking this feedback. That will help me for the next session. Now, let me give you 2 live practical applications of myself. 3. There was a site I managed, or we managed years ago. We have CCTV, we have security that are doing night shift. But do you know what happened? These security guys, they will sleep. Don't forget, facility manager will not be in the building at night. They will sleep. That night is for sleeping because they believe they have cameras. But do you know the funny part? We kept having theft. People will enter the building. I don't know how they get to, because the security room is a bit transparent that you can see from outside, although it was tinted. But we observed that there was continuous theft. Somebody would come in, cover his face, rob and go. Before you know, they say, we saw him, we did, you know, it was going on and on. And I said, but I have technology now. What will I do to make sure that these guys are awake to do their job? Now I want to put in this comment section, what technology do you think I can use to make security to be awake and not to sleep during that period? What do you think I have done? Let's take your feedback. Let's go to the comment section again. I'm going back to the comment section. This is a practical class. Like I said, I can go to this. Let me go through and check. I want to enjoy this class. What technology do you think I can use to make sure that the security do not sleep at night? Automated alarm system. Maybe tell me how I'm going to use that, but that's a good feedback. Chris, I'm enjoying your feedback. You seem to be very active. Let others come. What can I use to make sure that those guys are alert and can make sure that they can discover when somebody jumps into, someone say alarm system, all right? Install a motion sensor with alarm. I see. I want to see somebody that will be able to get what I did. I didn't use all this. An hourly call system. That's a cheaper method. So who is going to wake up in the middle of the night to be calling every hour? Maybe that person will sleep. Next, that's not out of place. It's still correct. Next, electric fence, camera watching the security. And they slept now. That's what I'm saying, Amira. They are sleeping. There's camera watching them. But it's not the next day I will discover that they are sleeping. And when they will know camera is watching it, they will sleep. But the deed has been done. Put a smart camera that can give a live update from where you are. Ross, theft always happens during midnight. I'm sleeping 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You don't want to sleep. Hourly WhatsApp report. That's interesting. Any other feedback? I love the engagement. Electric fence. Okay. They've disconnected the electric fence. Access control system. I said they disconnected it. They find a way to disconnect. I don't know what has happened. Access control system is a flat. Smart alarm system on their device. Hourly biometric system. Well, that's closer. Somebody should help me with the answer. Okay, so let me tell you what we did. I'm going to put it on the section box. Let me tell you what we did, right? It's called a guard patrol system. A guard patrol system. Thank you. All your answers are correct, but in the light of what I was doing, a guard patrol system with an RFID. Thank you, Rita. You're on point. Apparently, you didn't introduce yourself. So what I did was, number one, I know that they are sleeping. So we implemented some of those things, an alarm system. Also, how do I discover that they are touching all the necessary base in that place? Again, you know, like I said, there are some buildings you don't need this, but this is what I did. And there are some buildings that a smart facial camera to discover the wrong person, trigger an alarm. That's another system. I've recorded the face of people in that building So once you see a strange face, you should trigger an alarm. That's correct. That's why I say all your answers are correct. But in a place where you cannot implement all that, as at that time I'm talking, I'm not sure we have all this smart camera available in a cost that I can afford. Don't forget, when we talk about technology implementation, you must look at cost. You must look at the usage. You must look at the specifications of where you're using. So all these things might not be applicable in your building. Maybe the only thing you do in your building is to put electric fence. And if they cut the electric fence or it's down, let there be a trigger every hour. So what we did was to introduce a guard patrol system with an RFID tag. RFID is radio frequency information identification, yes. So what happened is you have like a tag located at different places of the building. You have something that looks like a touch and it's vibrating. So every hour, I put a schedule of when they must go to patrol. So they must touch those touch points. So even they know that even when I have 3 guys on duty, I've said, you will go 1 to 1:30, you will go 2 to 2:30. So that even if you want to sleep, you know when you are sleeping. So what happened was when we implemented those tags in different locations for 2 years, there was no theft issue, there was no burglary issues, there was nobody that could jump into the building because they were patrolling regularly. Don't forget, like I said, I could have implemented alarm system, but there are some buildings that you might not be able to implement all this system. So I put a guard patrol system. They must clock in at each time or interval. And by that way, you know what I did with that guard patrol system? Every week, I will collate, you're supposed to do 20 patrols. You're supposed to do 30 patrols. If you don't meet up with a number of patrols, that lead to sanctions, penalties. You know what happened? Everybody just put their timing on their phone. There's an alarm and vibration. So when you know it's your time, you don't do vroom, you stand up and then you begin to do your patrol. So because of that regular patrol system at night, everybody was able to sit up. And again, their salary was kind of attached to the number of patrols they're able to carry out. So you can see how I solved the problem. Now, I'm going to talk about another problem that I solved. Someone say very smart. You see, that's what it will help you. Now, I'm going to give you another problem we had on our site. There was constant diesel theft. We have done all, there was camera. You know how these guys would do? They will cut the cable and it was going on and on. But what did I do to cure diesel theft? Tell me if you have been able to stop diesel theft using technology. What technology do you think we can use to stop diesel theft on our site? So let's go on. Let's go on the second one. There are many things we can do. Let's go on. Let's go on. I want to see your comments in the chat box. Like I said, you'll be the one doing most of the talking. You always have access to this slide. So let me get your feedback. What technology can we use to stop diesel theft on our site? Let's go on. And if you have implemented it, most of us know that. Like I said, when you're implementing technology, we always look at your site. I'm not getting any feedback. Are you sure you guys can hear me? Smart cam installation, thank you. Let's get more feedback. BMS system, God bless you. Motion sensor alarm system, thank you. Let's go on, let's go on. Like I said, this class, it is you guys that will be doing the talking. Let's get the feedback. What technology can you use to stop diesel theft on your site? Let's go on, let's go on. I'm not getting the feedback again. Are we still there? CCTV, thank you. For surveillance, thank you. Anti-siphon valve, I'm learning. So, it's a two-way thing. So I'm learning from you guys too. Mechanical logs that require RFID that we won't use padlock. Anyway, I'm gonna get your feedback. 4-level sensor. Real one, Abdullah. That's a very smart one. That was my university project 15 to 20 years ago or something. I did 4-level sensor using a potentiometer. Next, let's go on. Others, you don't know what to do. Remote monitoring and building management system. Ibrahim Salati. Very interesting. Let's get other feedback. No feedback again. I'm waiting for you. Okay, let's move on. PLC, automated. That person that said PLC is working on oil. Automated access control like fingerprint and sales laws, CCTV. Okay, so let me tell you what we did. Again, this is level record. So what we did was a smart IoT. We're going to come to that. Smart IoT diesel level sensor. So that's what we used to stop the theft. So what we did, there's some, I'm trying to find the word. There are some sensors you put in your diesel tank. One, that sensor monitor the diesel level, send reports daily, monitor the average usage. If there's an abnormal reduction, or for example, you have 600, and suddenly you observe that it moves to 100, it sends a trigger, flow meter correct. Yeah, so that's that diesel level sensor. Smart Internet of Things means that in my house, I can be seeing the daily report of the usage. If I observe that every time at night, 100 meters they move, something is going on somewhere. So that's what we did on that site. And we're able to monitor the consumption pattern using this smart IoT. IoT means Internet of Things, diesel level sensor. That gives you your usage anywhere you are in the world. That sensor is connected. Some can be LoRa sensors, connected to an internet, has a SIM card, communicates to you, and then there's a software at the back end that gives you consumption pattern, gives you daily usage. So that I don't measure. Instead of we go put this stick, say use scope, say now 100, it knows it's 150. And then you begin to have issues. Thank you. So let's look at others application. Now you can use, these are some of them. So like I said, leak detection. You can use sensor to measure leak detection. Some of us always have leakages. You won't know, the whole floor will be wet, the building will be wet. Water is always finishing. This is that. There are some leak detections you can put on it. We know that's how they measure the Nigerian pipeline. They vandalize that, and so on and so forth. Asset tagging, you can put technology to tag your assets. You scan with an RFID, and I can track it. I can know what is going on with that data, with that sensor. There are some, let me put it now, some lighting, smart sensors connected to some lights. You can know if they are on or off. Now we have so many smart switches. People can off their AC remotely wherever they are. Some people, before the problem with AC is that when you get to that room, you put it on, you mean 20 minutes, you're still sweating. But there's some smart switch whereby maybe 20 minutes before you drive to your house, to your home rather, you can put on the AC while you're in the bus stop. So as you're entering your room, your body just the cooler, as some people will say. You can also put sensors to monitor energy consumption. This is one of aspects that pain me so much in the Nigerian metering system. All the prepaid will just be showing your token remaining. And then they will give you one small hardware that will be showing you accumulation. There's no way you can split that data. There's no way you can say, what I used 3 days ago was 50 kilowatts. even though it's a technology in their own way, but it's not sufficient. So there's some smart energy meter consumption that you can view remotely what you are consuming, pattern your energy pattern, day by day consumption, week by week consumption, monthly consumption. You can even pull reports. This is how far you can go with technology. They have talked about smart parking system. We see that in malls. You can know where you're coming, you pay, they know those are paid to reduce congestion. Some can even have smart parking system to know that you have 2 spaces remaining. Unfortunately, most parking systems in Nigeria, they will just be saying enter, enter. Security guy will now be counting. Remain 2 spaces. Okay, one person just won't come out. While they should have a smart sensor that shows the number of available vacant spots. Again, like someone mentioned, measure humidity. You can know the indoor air quality having a smart sensor. You can know the humidity levels. Let's look at household appliances. We talked about cameras, surveillance. There are smart cameras. In fact, there was a camera, a solar smart camera installed in my office. And the security guy is very annoyed with that sensor. That sensor is embedded with motion sensor. So it means that once somebody pass that area that I don't want somebody to, it will trigger. We say intruder alarm, the guy was angry. So one day he didn't know I was checking. I removed the alarm and I put a trigger to let me know if there are more than 2 or 3 people in the area. And I called the guy. I said, who's that person? He said, oh, that what happened? I said, you don't know that I can get a trigger. Because he felt I cannot sit down with the camera all the time. But I put some settings on that smart camera that can monitor people, monitor movement, monitor, and send a trigger to me. And it's solar powered. And you see that a lot of people now use that for their street. You don't even need to have any DVR, just one camera connected to your phone. You can do your setting, night mode is there, and many more. So those are some of the places. We also know that you can also use it for your operations. How do you manage your customer complaint? The customer want to make requests. You'll be calling the technician. You can have a technology whereby they have a app and they just make their request. They also have that you can do community management. You're managing an estate. There will not be water. You don't need to go to WhatsApp or be calling everybody or sending email. Everybody with that software, you just send a community note or a community alarm, a community message, and everybody will get it just like a text message. There's also sensors that when you feel like you have an intruder in your house, it's called security alarm system. Once you press the button, it sends a message, a trigger alarm to the nearest police station, nearest security unit to say that you're in distress and people will come to your rescue. It looks like a ring. It's very close to you. So the moment you just press that trigger, the person will not know that you have actually sent SOS to the nearest security post. We know, like somebody said, I want to be able to manage my meeting. We want to have, someone talked about having a good repository. If you're using Teams, I'll show you at the end of the day. In my office, we use Teams. And the facility manager have a group on Teams where documents that we want them to have access to, their own Teams, policies, checklist, template, job completion form. They all have access to that documentation on Teams. We can also do that via SharePoint. All of us know OneDrive, clouds are available. And there's so many things you can use Internet of Things to do. Let's look at some of these things you can also use it to do. You can use technology for intelligent street lighting. Most of us know that you're managing a big estate. Tell technology, go on the breaker. Or there are some that the guy will need to own like 10 breakers or 10 switches in a big estate. Bring out the light. But you can have an intelligent lighting system. Again, what happens when rain wants to fall in the morning and everywhere is dark? The light will not come up because you know that if Kazim does not put it on. We can have a street light that such that once it's dark, we know what that means. I'm trying to get the right name for it. There's a name for such sensors. It's available. Once it's night, the street light will come in. Once it's dark, don't need one security to put it on. That also help you. Once it's day, the thing will go off. You can use your drones, robots. Some of us want to go into some places that is hard. You know, most of these architects, they don't have maintenance in mind. So you can use drones, you can use robots, sewage system. There's so many sewage systems that you can use invasive tiny cameras, zinc, plumbing line. You can use very tiny cameras that can help you to know what's going on in that plumbing line. And they're like ropes, they are very long. You can use, like I mentioned, emergency app. You can use to send alerts, report incidents. You can use a CMS system for predictive maintenance, and so on and so forth. I've talked about smart energy system. I've talked about smart metering. I've talked about apps. I've talked about some of these, like I said, there are many use cases that you can use technology in your building, many use cases. In fact, technology has moved to the point of using AI. I'm going to give a practical application. Okay. Let me check. Somebody's dropping a message on the platform. Just give me a moment. Thank you. Photo cell switch. Thank you. Photo cell control. Thank you. That's correct. Yes, yes, yes. Photo cell. Yes, yes. Thank you. That's correct. You see, that's what I'm saying, that we are all learning together. I've met someone also that used a smart sensor for water level. We all know that. A simple way we call flow switch. When the water is low, the guy will pump water. When the water is, it will stop. Very basic. But do you know that flow switch is just to tell you on and off? You can go forward to have a sensor that shows you leakages, that shows you consumption pattern. You understand? That can also trigger what flow switch is doing. But the advantage is you have record and data of the number of times your pump is on. For example, the sensor notices that the pump is always on 2 seconds. What is that? If you are using a pressure switch, you know, most times there is a pressure valve, a pressure machine. Once you open the tap, pressure will go. But if you are using gravity, right? Gravity is gravity. You don't need machine for that. So you have sensors to do so many things on your side. Our technology, sensors, applications are done. In fact, one of the major one I mentioned that is painful in buildings is that visitor management system, that is the basic of the basic, you are still writing paper. Cars are entering the compound, you are still writing paper. Okay, wait, let's write the number of the thing. It is 412. I said, what kind of thing is that? You cannot move forward. But I can say that I've been to a building that once you come in, there's a small tab, you put your name, you sign off, and you're off. You don't have to use paper. That one is going directly into the back end. Somebody can get the data. In fact, I did one in my office, and this is part of the practical now. Because like I said, this session for practical, we'll look at various software, but let's pause to take a practical. This next session will be fast because we have done 1 hour. Like you can see that it's very interesting. And I've not even touched 50%. So I can be here till 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. But I'm not going to take all your time. Like I said, you have access to it. So I'm going to be fast. Now, let me tell you one thing I did also in my office. Now, the big technology you can use to do some of these, your job and stuff like that. But what I discovered is that there are so many free tools you can use to do some of what you want to do. So many free tools. One of the free tools we're going to practice, I'm going to go step by step. I'm not putting the step there. You will need to follow or journey along with me. Don't forget, I say stand by me. We're going to, how many of us have used QR code? Of course, we have used it one way or the other. Now I'm going to show you the application of QR code in FM as a tool, as a technology. You can use a QR code for job requests. maintenance reporting, asset information access, inspection and checklist, you can use a QR code. Inventory management, you can use a QR code. Permit to work, you can use a QR code. So one of the practical we're going to do in this class is to use what? A QR code. And I hope I'll pause. Let me get one or two feedback. And then let me put on a section what area you have used QR code. It doesn't have to be FM. When have you used QR code? Let me know, put it there. We're going to do one. And what we're going to do at the end of this class is feedback. Just feedback. You put a QR code, you want to get feedback from. No. We're going to do the one of visitor. Somebody want to visit your property and you want to use a QR code. That's what I'll do. Today I'm not going to do feedback because I've gotten your feedback already. So I'm going to go to the comment section again. Quickly, like I said, this next phase, I'm going to be very fast. So please permit me because I must end this class by 7 o'clock. And I know we've done an hour already. And then I want to manage the next 30 minutes. So that practical session is always where I take time. So in your comment section, put where you have used QR code. Anywhere you have used it. Areas you have used QR code. I'm listening. Let's go. That the one that's going, maybe you are going to finish this class. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, feedback. Areas you have used QR code. Doesn't have to be in FM. Maybe on personal engagement. So I'm waiting for your feedback before we move to our fourth module. We're going to look at areas now. We have used that applications where we can use it, but now we're going to look at the tools, some of the tools itself, some of the softwares that we use itself. So I'm waiting for your feedback. Nobody's commenting. Am I too fast? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
So give me on the comment section areas that you have used QR code or where you have used QR code. Okay, thank you, Chipo. Chipo, thank you. Asset identification. Area you have used QR code. It doesn't have to be FMO. I'm not saying it's application. I'm saying that maybe you went to a restaurant, have used it to make payment. Our church says scan it for question. Some of them you scan it to enter a web. Thank you. That you have used it personally. That's what I want to get. So it's not about how you can use it. Where you have used QR code. I went for a conference and the FM conference. Thank you. We use it for feedback. Thank you. We use it to register. Thank you. Offering. How do you use QR code? Yes, to make payment. Thank you. Next. I don't understand staff ID, QR code. Staff bus. Okay, you scan it. Wow, that's strange. Smartwatch, correct. Me, I've used it to exchange contacts. Yes, canteen. I've used it to exchange contacts. Restaurant menu. I've used to exchange. Watch football. Okay, it will take you to site. Event registration, correct. People, very correct. Scan this code and register for this event. Check it out. What again? I've used it. Okay, recently I connected with someone on LinkedIn. I just scanned the QR code. In fact, I was shocked. But I used to use it to exchange contacts. But I was surprised that the guy said my LinkedIn, you can get my LinkedIn by scanning my QR code. I said, so you mean this QR code I've been teaching? LinkedIn has, thank you, connect to a Wi-Fi. App download, correct. So we're going to do a practical one. You can do it yourself. Some of you know how to do it. Some of you are very smart. So I know that I'm in the right class. I think last class we had like 30 or 40, but this also to fill Google form. So we're going to do live one. So let's move ahead. So please permit me to move fast so that we can do this visitor management form, online meeting, virtual stores. Thank you. Some of them, when you scan, you see their price list. Fantastic. So I want to tell you that this QR code, you and I can enjoy it for free, and you can do it on your own. I wish I had more time. I would have shown you how to also use AI to create your own app that you can use for free on your site. Maybe that will be the first one we'll do. If I have time, I'll try it out. If not, move out. So let's move further. Thank you. I'll move. Thank you now. That's Amira is back. So someone should help me. I don't know whether it's one of the admin in Max-Migold. Help me with those that are logging in, going out due to network, so that it can help me. So let's go to module 4. Rita is going out. Someone should be admitting them because it's kind of distracting me. So
Sir, I'm here doing that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So in the course of this module, we'll look at requirements, use case. Now we're going to look at the software itself, FM software. FM technology is very broad. Between you and I, we can't finish it for 3-4 hours. You can use GIS, so many things. Geomapping, drones, sensor, AR, VR, IoT. There are many technologies. Smart cameras, smart switching, smart occupancy sensor, smart lighting. Do you understand? Smart curtains. Smart curtains respond to lightings and come on and go off. And there are a lot. In fact, recently, I think in a conference, I can't remember, how they were able to use AI embedded in a robot to solve a cleaning problem. And I'm going to mention that. Like I said, my class is more practical. I'm not going to, I can talk for now. So they observed that they have a cleaning routine in a mall. But they observed that even with that cleaning routine, a particular area is always dirty. And they were like, what's going on? So what it is, they introduced a smart camera that will measure the level of footprint, level of the foot map on the ground. They discovered that a particular area of the mall has a larger number of people there all the time. The number of people passing that area per session seems to be a major always. So they said, no, we can't tell everybody to go 1 hour because this particular area, there are some sections that people will not even pass in the next 2 hours. So when they use that AI embedded in that machine to check the foot map of the people, and with that data, what happens is once they get a certain foot map, the cleaning robot automatically goes to that place and clean and sweep as often as it is, as often as based on that information. What that means is that that place that is always dirty, even though, and they're like, we have to deploy 4 people, they're always cleaning. And people are like, but why are people always just sweeping? It looks as if they are not coordinated. So without AI and that robot, that's what's happening. You just see a machine moving, cleaning. This place looks tushed, as people used to say in Nigeria. It looks techy. So with that information and the AI footprint, the AI embedded to the cleaning robot, they're able to measure the footprint. They are supposed to deploy like 4 people, but with the machine, maybe only 1 person just to supervise that somebody will not carry or tamper with that. And then they're able to reduce their workforce. They observe that there are some places that you only need 1 cleaner. Why put? Because the number of footprint or the number of people there. So now they now use that information to determine the number of cleaners where they're able to deploy them. Embedded with the cleaning robots, they were able to reduce their staffing by 50% and at the same time still get results. So let me go back to some of the softwares. Now, I saw somebody say I want to manage my operations. This is the basic you will see majorly. The other ones I'll be mentioning, you will see them in smart buildings and stuff like that. But when it comes to FM itself, what you will see majorly that people are talking when they say, I want to manage my process, is a CMS system. Why is it a CMS system? It's called Computerized Maintenance Management System. It's just a software that basic things it does is just to manage operations. Manage operations. Like I would have recommended or mentioned like 5 or 6 local and international softwares. So I will encourage you, go to AI, type, give me, maybe I'm in Zimbabwe, as some of you are, give me 5 indigenous CMS software system I can use. And then you see their site, you check. So like the one I first used, the one we also use in my company, we had to build our own from scratch. Because the one we're using, we're doing a lot of iteration, because those guys are software guys. They're not into the system. So they don't even know how our system works. So we kept paying them to iterate, to change, and they're not making money from us. So at the point, we're like, no, it doesn't make sense. And we're still paying for the operating cost. So we just started building from scratch, using some of our data we spooled from the company. So a CMS system is just a maintenance software. Track your maintenance, track your assets. Some of them are even doing inventory management. Some of them now have fleet system. There's some CMS system that now have fleet system. Some of them have a procurement module inside. I can tell you that. So some of them also have a request system inside. Some of them have where you can generate invoice from that software directly to the client. Our own software is such that once the procurement costs that job, you can go to that software to print the invoice from that software. In fact, sometimes you can say send to client. From that software, you send the invoice to the client. And once the client click on the link and click approve, it comes back. All this is through a computer management system, CMS system. So we have talked about implementation. Some of them, what we did in our own is we had our asset, we added our SLA, we added our vendor, we added our clients, we put so many things. So there are some things that you might need to implement. Now this is like the top in terms of the software, not all. A computer-aided facility management system. I think 10 years ago in Nigeria, to use it, most of people are using the KFM system. But the funny part is that the only part they are using there is the maintenance part. So it's costing a lot to most companies to use it because some of them are not using everything. So for the difference between a CMS system and a KFM system is that KFM goes beyond maintenance. KFM also does space management, space utilization, tracks reports. It's more robust. It's not just maintenance. Does so many things you can do in that built environment. Equipment data, asset life, you can project the asset life cycle of that. You can look at the costs that you are maintaining on an asset, come up with predictive. So it's more robust. But the disadvantage is that most FM company are maintenance company. No, it's called facility management. Unfortunately, what most of us are doing is facility maintenance. There's a difference between maintenance and management. Maintenance is strictly equipment-based. Management is both equipment, the people, and all that is involved in that built environment. Most time, maintenance is just on generator, off light, and most people have redefined facility management as maintenance. Now, like I said, these are some things that KFM can do: space planning, space inventory, project planning. It does maintenance, and is a bit robust than KFM. Implementation process is the same. Why do you need it? Find out the specifications that you might need. Like I said again, one of the problems about KFM is that the cost is very high. I can tell you that. That sometimes again that the data is not what you need. But when you are going to spool reports, it's going to bring all the report of what you are supposed to use it for. So you now see so many blank spaces. So most of the time when you bring that report, it looks a bit different. At the end of this section, I'm going to ask you which of the software you have used before, and which of the one you think you might want to need or you might need after this class. Now, building information modeling, with called BIM, is like a 3D model of the building, of how it was been constructed. And then you can have access to it, the plumbing, the It's like you are doing what is called a virtual reality of the building, and it's going to be in 3D. You can go into the left side, go into the ground floor, check the kind of paint they use, check the thickness of the wall, check the type of tiles they use. Do you understand? So it's more of like architectural, electrical 3D model of the building. It's like a digital representation of the physical and the functional characteristics of the facility. This is also expensive. I can tell you, I'm not sure there are up to 10 buildings using this because the cost alone will be for a year. And people now ask why I will use all this cost. So I can tell you that up to 10 buildings, if I'm not exaggerating, I can find out. You can find out buildings that are using BIM in Nigeria. Put that in your AI. I'm writing all those things so that you can go and use your AI, because one of the technology or era that we're in the era of AI. Like I said, I'll be fast in this section. I'll just be explaining some of them, right? BIM is very good when you have a big building and infrastructure that you know that cost implication of just changing part or breaking walls is not something you want to fix. And you want to have live information. For example, in BIM, when you change the tiles, you go back to say second floor, third room, we change the tiles of this part from white to black. The thickness that was there was this, and you place it. So anybody can go and say, they replaced tiles in fourth floor. The CMS system might not give you that. It will just give you the work order. You'll not be able to go and find out some of the details. So like I said, I'll just be talking about it. Now, a building management system is a system that aggregates sensors together. And that sensors is visible for you to check on a software. For example, I've managed a building that uses BMS system. But the only thing on that BMS system is that diesel level and their panel. So the advantage of that is that you can see information, this panel is working. What is the frequency? What is the temperature? Some people put only their generator in their BMS system so that you can check all the configuration data of that BMS system on the software. So it's an aggregate of softwares or sensors of different components aggregated. You can see in this diagram, you can put your heating sensor, ventilation, AC. In that BMS, you can decide to off fifth floor AC. You can discover that this AC in that floor is down and it's showing panel, or it's showing a code. And in that code, you can even see the interpretation. There are some sensors for water, there are sensors for gas, sensors for safety. You can aggregate everything and put it into a BMS system, and that will solve it. Let's go for that. So I just mentioning some of the software. Who is that? Who is that? Now, the difference between a building maintenance a BMS system and an automation system. So there's two differences. Automation means that you are not really involved. You have set some aggregates. It's close, but they're different. For example, a building automation system, I can say, once it's 6 o'clock, put on the light. A BMS system will just show you light on. A building automation system, I can say, once there are 2 people in that building, reduce the AC to 15. That's automation. I can say, once you observe that there's only 1 person off all the floors, do you understand? Once you observe that the heat in that room is increasing, change the AC to 18, and like that. You can also set an automation to say, once the energy demand in that building is 50 kV, switch to the lower generator. That's automation. You set some aggregates and the sensors work without you. So building management is a bit close to building automation. But the difference is that automation, they are not highly involved. They are design of systems that have been done that it works on their own. However, it's also a software you can manage like that. Now, I want you to go to comment section. We're going to look at barriers. I've mentioned some of the barriers, but we'll still go. Put on the comment section, we're rounding up, what software you have been able to use from those ones I've mentioned, And please, we have just 2 minutes. I believe the mandate end this by 7. I'm sure those people behind the scene want me to close. We are at the last phase of the class. We might just move to practical and we'll end the class. We talk about barriers. I've mentioned some of them in discussion. So I'm waiting for you. Part of those softwares I've mentioned, which one have you actually used on your site and which one you think you might need? So anyone, let's go on. Can I have it, Chipo? Take the lead. Am I too fast? Are you there? Hello, Daniel?
I'm here, sir.
Okay. So put on the comment section what softwares you've used before or you think you will need. Let's go on. Based on what I mentioned earlier, I can go back to those softwares so that you can see them. Number 1. I can't get any response. BIM is used. Thank you. Yes, I said big project. Thank you. Please. PAS Chipo. Nice one. Next, let's have it. So is it only 2 people have used this software or they might need this software? BMS Chad. Yeah, nice one. I'm sure you're managing a high-rise building or something. Next, we use BS to control HVAC. Thank you. That's correct. That's nice. So nobody have used CMS system. I'm sure all of you should have used this. I'm expecting to see people that have used this. Yes. PMS system. What's a PMS system? A power management system. Jira, Teams, Google Meet, QR code. You're amazing. Okay, property management system. Thank you. Thank you. There's some that I use for rent. Find out those that are owing. Nice one. Yes, we did mention that because we're focused on facility, but that's correct. You can also use that. All right, not to waste your time, because I must do that practical. And that practical used to take like 15 minutes. And that will be the last part. So let's quickly go to barriers that we may have using that. We have mentioned that some of the issue could be okay, let's just look at 7 deadly sins of that, of some of the barriers. Some of them are lack of realistic, these are 7 deadly sins of technology deployment. Some of them can be lack of planning, lack of commitment, lack of communication, lack of authority, maybe somebody to be able to implement it, lack of specific outcome. These are 7 deadly sins. Lack of realistic expectation. You're expecting your technology to tell you everything. Some of them can affect your deployment. That's why I said you must look at what are the specific outcomes you're looking at. Not being sure of what you want can also hinder you. Lack of commitment. Some people don't do. Go to government office. This technology, this one is saying, man, I don't get time. Paperwork. Lack of planning, not having the right thing, or not going through the requirements, or laying a good foundation. Lack of quality is also there. Maybe the software, maybe your people, lack of communication. I've deployed a software, they didn't use it in an estate because they were just not committed to it. And the communication from the estate chairman was bad. There was no synergy. We don't have authority to implement it. It was just a software for them to be raising their requests. I have too much software, but because they felt if they call us, we'll always answer some of them. Some of them could be lack of inadequate data. Data in terms of building data can also affect you to implement some of them. Some of them can be poor asset register, like we said, they have an asset list, and then they tell you to implement technology. Or the building topography self might hinder you from. Imagine a building that everything there is good. I don't want to implement BMS or BS. It's not possible. Let's not deceive ourselves. So those are some of the barriers Again, let's look at the summary as we round up. FM technology is business process. Deployment must be well prepared before execution. FM technology is deployed across a wide range of sectors. Like I said, we've not even scratched the surface. FM softwares now include many more: CMS system, CAFM system, BIM system, BMS system, many more. In fact, there's a book called FM Technology. I'll try and see if I can get it across. I'll find out from your governor. Your governor can reach out to me, and I'll be able to send that book. I'll get the permission of Max-Migold that you guys can read the book later. Now, before we go on our practical session,
number one in your life's blueprint,
I'd like to play this video as a roundup, and we'll do our QR code. Whatever you are doing, please pursue excellence. And I'd like to encourage you, because when I come to teach, I'm not just teaching technology. I believe that we are ambassadors. When you want to also deploy this technology, they find out, do you carry the charisma? Do you carry the competence? Do you carry the capacity and character to be able to convince them, have a business case, right, that can prove the return on investment, cost-benefit analysis. There must be so many things you tell your board that will make them to implement. So excellence is something you should pursue in knowledge. And I want to encourage you to listen to this speech by Martin Luther. And after this speech, we'll go to our QR code. I will call it a day. I've gone over 7 to 7 again. Like I said, I can be here to 9. And so let's quickly go through that part.
Be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Secondly, you must have the determination to achieve excellence. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil when you discover what you're going to be in life. Set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history. To do it. Set out to do a good job and do that job so well that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. Finally, in your life's blueprint must be commitment, the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. And so our slogan must not be burn, baby, burn. It must be build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. Learn, baby, learn, so that we can earn, baby, earn. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Number one in your life's blueprint should be...
All right, let me get your feedback. I hope you were able to hear that. I hope I'm not the one that listened to that. Now we're not going to take our quiz because of time. Let's go to our practical session. I'll be very fast. I want to do a visitor management system. So just follow me as I go around. I will be fast again. But drop your question on the comment section. If you want me to respond to any question, drop your comment. Drop your questions, respond now in 2 minutes, and then we'll take our practical session and we'll call it a day. Thank you. So who's going first? Do you want to ask a question? I'll drop my contact details. I've shown you my name. My name is Ifeoluwadayo Adoluwadotun. You can check me on LinkedIn. You can message me, and we can have a conversation there. You can go further if you want to reach out to me. The governor can give you my contact, but that's not why we are here. I'll get the permission of Max-Migold. But like I said, any question or what I've done is perfect before we go to our next practical session. Hello, can you guys hear me? Am I alone on this call? Thank you.
I hear you, sir.
Can hear you.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right, so
yes.
no question. I can go ahead with the practical session. All right. Like I said, I'm just doing it as if I've not done it before. So just follow me. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see whether my screen is off, active. So let me share my screen. Let's go further. Follow me. I can see that you guys are not asking questions, so I'll go ahead. Now I want to do share. So I'm sure you can see my screen. The first step is we're going to open, let me take this. I'm sure you can see my screen. Let's open Google Form. Please, the step is open a Google Form. That's the first step. Just type Google Form. That's why I say make sure you have, I'm going to do this in 5 minutes. I'm not going to want to use QR code to create a visitor management system. And I'm going also to open maybe ChatGPT or something. Let me move my cloud. Where's my cloud? My cloud. I thought my cloud was here. We're going to use AI. Yes, my cloud. Okay. Let's continue. Google Form. Click on your Google Form online builder. I don't want to sign in. I'm already in. You can sign in, but I know I'm already signed in. So let me go. So I'm sure all of us can create a Google Form. So it's not. So what we'll do is we want to create a form. I'm signed in already. Why is it? Now, without wasting time, when you go to Google Form, right, you already see templates are there. So I can decide to choose anyone. Let me find out. You can see event management, you can see assessment. So I can design a form, anyone I want. There are templates that are already there. There are job application, time off, work request, customer feedback. You know, there are forms that I've designed. Some of them are already there. You can even use AI. So let's look at contact information. Somebody come to your site and you don't want your technician. So let's create a form. So you don't need to create a form, it's already created there. So you can just edit. Are there any other thing you want to get from the people that would attend or will come to your building? So let's change this contact information to visitors information. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's not changing. So what you will do is you go to publish. Let's leave it that way. Go to publish. Respond. Anyone with the link can respond. You can even control, but let's publish it. You will copy this URL, this respondent link, copy it. Now, leave it that way. Just go to free QR code generator. No expiration. Let's leave it like that. Anyone. The step is go to Google to create a generator. Anyone. This can also be customized, right? Let me tell you the one you might use. I don't want the one that will give us stress. Which one that I used to use? let's try this. Let's try this me. There's one we used to use, but I'm not sure the name now. There are ones that you can use that you don't need to register. That's something you have to register and register and register and register. Now, I hope it's not this. You will see create QR code. Are you with me? Somebody should unmute. I need someone to
Yes, sir. I'm following.
choose the type, create QR code, customize, and download. So let me choose image. You will see a place that has a link. Did you see that? Did you see how I got to this place? Let me go back. Go to this URL link. Click on it. Where you see that link, click. Somebody is pressing something on my screen. Let's say, put your name. Let's say visitor, blah, blah, blah. Visitor form. And you just customize and download. So there are some that they will ask you to start signing in. I'll check if it's this one. There's one I use, I'll find out. Let me see whether it's going to allow me. Now you will see that the QR code is here and it's asking me to download. Let me see whether it's going to allow me to download. Now I've downloaded it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to your home page. I'm going to go to your class. I'll copy that QR code. And I want some of you to scan it if your phone can scan it. It's as simple as that. Let me go to. How many of you got how I did mine? Let me copy the link I use and put on your class platform. Just click on the link I've used, copy the Google Form link, put it on that place you see URL, just download, that's all. Now what I'm going to do again is I'm going to check this QR code and I'm going to open it for some of you to scan on my screen. Let me see whether you'll be able to scan it. So what I'll do is I will stop sharing and I will allow some of you to scan that QR code. Let me know whether to take you to that visitor form and just fill anything you like and I'll be able to see whether some of us can. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen now. Please, I want you to scan this QR code and see whether it's going to take you to that place and we'll call it a day. Please, if you have your phone, scan this QR code. Let me know where it's going to take you to. And that's all. That's one of the practical applications. You can do Excel, you can do so many things with it. You can create an Excel, get the link, put the QR code, you can even get image. Maybe you want an image to say, do not litter. You can put a QR code. When they scan it, they say, so this is what this person is saying. How many of us have scanned this thing and filled it? I want somebody to fill the form and I want to be sure, I'll check that my back end. I will know those that just one person can fill it. Let me get your feedback if you got how we arrived there. Create a Google form link, go to that QR code generator, go to URL, paste that link, it will generate a QR code, download it, you can print it, and that's all. And you can do so many things. You can do a virtual exhibition, and that's how it's done. Did anybody scan it? I got a message. Fill it. No, you just fill it. I want to see the back end. Thank you. I want another person to scan. Let's have 2 people to scan. And then that will be the end of the class, and I'll get a feedback, and I will call it a day. I'm going to take it off now. How many of us are scanned it? Because I want to check my back end, be sure that I have. Thank you, Rita. Just fill it. And your class governor should just, is as simple as ABC. Let me go back to my app. Let me see my form. Those of you that filled it, I'll get a response. Thank you. I have like 4 responses. Thank you. Somebody is living in Unilag. That person should be my friend, though. I stay around Unilag. Who's that? Rita. Rita should be my friend, though. Great, good, thank you, sir. So it's as easy as that. Finally, I'll do one more because the thing is sweet me. Let me go back to the form. Let me get your feedback, and I'm going to round up. See what I'm going to do again. I'm doing this because I want everybody to see. Screen sharing is paused. So I want to go back to my screen. So let me get feedback from, I know there's feedback. I saw one feedback from me. I'm not designing new one because I don't have time to do that. So I want you to, let me see this customer feedback. What I normally do is I normally do a feedback form where I'll get your feedback. How was the class? Is it okay? But like I said, time will not allow me. Okay, let me get feedback. How's the class? Class. Great. Good. Bad. Excellent. Fair. Okay, so I'm going to create this again, and I want to get your feedback. Suggestion for improvement. Suggestion for improvement. I'm going to leave that. And lecturer rating. So let me publish this. Please, everyone should feel this. And I mean it too. Everyone should feel this. In fact, wait, let me add something more. Okay, let me leave it that way. Everyone should feel this. Everyone, and I mean it. Publish. I'm going to go to, I'm still doing it again for other people that want to learn this. I'm doing it for everyone again. So I've done it twice. I did visitors. So all you need to do is you go to where you see URL. It's loading. You download. I hope they will allow me to download. Go to this place. You will see URL link. Click on that URL link. Just put it there. Let me copy the link. I'll come here. Class feedback. So download. So let me click on download. Okay, will allow me to download again. Okay, they've allowed me to download. So please, I want you guys to scan this again for me. I want to get your feedback. Honest for everyone that must do this. Stop sharing. Now I'm going to share. Everyone will do this for me, please. I like to get the feedback. And that's the end of the class, literally. So scan it. We spent, I think we started 5:20. We spent 2 hours. Everyone should scan this. I'm going to get the feedback on my phone. I'm going to go to my phone and check it. And in the next 3 minutes, we'll call it a day. I'll drop my contact if any one of you want to reach to me. By the end of this, let me quickly see if I can do that. Can you still see it? Is this thing still sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm going to drop those that I want to reach out. LinkedIn. I should have dropped, let me just drop the link. I hope you guys are scanning. I've dropped one of my contacts. Let me check my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is literally my name. You won't see that name anywhere on LinkedIn, my full name. So you can connect with me, be able to have, we are mutual friends. Have you guys finished scanning? Can you still see it or you can't see it again? So I'm going to leave it for the next minute again. After 7:19, I will take it off. Please, everyone should please assist me to do this. The reason, like I said, is because please, people should not flash me because please, I beg you. Connect on LinkedIn is better. After 1 minute, I take it off. I know some people are typing. Oh, sorry. So what I'll do is, I think I copy the link. I can send you so I can fill it. So it's easier. Paste. Okay. So let me get the link of the form. Sorry, I understand now. Most of you will not be able to fill it. Yeah, that's correct. So if you cannot do that, on the chat box, please, by 7:20, you can copy this on your WhatsApp or something. Your class governor should copy the Google Form link so you can fill it. So behind the scene, I can always get the feedback. Please, it's important to me. I always like to get the feedback. Of course, I always design it earlier, but like I said, I want it to be practical. Give me my rating, ways for improvement, submission, rate the class, good, bad, fair, anyone. Please, your class governor should just copy it. By 7:20, I'm out of the class, and then we can think or do other things. All right, guys, I want to believe I've been able to impact you positively. So I want to believe that the class has been engaging enough. Thank you. All right, so at this junction, please, somebody should copy the link, put it in your class group, copy the contact, because that's the end for me. Thank you, everyone, for your time. I would like to get 1 or 2 feedback, and then we'll call it a day. If your governor can give feedback, questions, and I'll say thank you. All right, anyone, questions, observation, contribution, feedback? It's 7:21. If I don't get it, I give the right to Max-Migold support staff behind the scene to end the meeting. Once it's 7:23 and I don't get any feedback, so I want to believe I'm good. Thank you, everyone, for your time. It has been a wonderful 2 hours. Like I said, I can be here for 4 hours. I enjoy teaching, impacting people. That's a joy to me. I hope when I come to Bayelsa, I can reach out to Mr. Perry Lewis and he will take me around.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Since I want to believe we're all good, I'm not getting any question, any feedback. There's already been a good time we've had together. And I believe that the second phase of there's another class whereby we'll come be able to talk about an actual software they will take you through. So I'm sure there's also another section where you have the practical run through the software, which we can do. Thank you, everyone. I hope I've been able to make it very slow and impactful. And I hope we'll connect on LinkedIn and the conference and continue our conversation. Thank you, everyone. Max-Migold, I'm out of the meeting, and I think I've had a good time with everyone. So we call it a day. As they say in French, I don't know if I'm correct. Au revoir.
All right, thank you very much, sir. It was a very interactive class, and I also enjoyed it. I hope everyone did too. All right. Have a wonderful evening and a lovely weekend. See you on next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.